Hi there. My name is Jen, and I would like to take you on kind of a journey into how I became the person I am and how I work with clients to communicate their own stories. So, just a quick overview. I do web design and development for clients. They're looking for someone who can take their ideas and their strategies and find a creative and efficient way to get all that information online for them. Here's a riddle. How did someone who grew up pre-internet even become a web designer? If you ever seen the movie Party Girl, starring Parker Posey, that was basically me in college. I was a film student at MassArt, and my job was a librarian in the Fine Arts Research Department at Boston Public Library. And then after work, I'd rush home, and then I'd head out again to be a club kid. But after a while, I graduated and I was looking for work, but then I realized my mom needed help with my grandmother. So I became a caregiver. I took care of my grandmother until she had to go into a nursing home. But after that was over, I looked around and I thought I might as well use my film degree. So I ended up with a job in the film lighting department of a lot of independent films that were shot in the Boston area, which was great for a while. And then I had a daughter with my husband, and we very quickly realized that the film industry and kids don't really mix because the hours are really crazy. So I started to look for things I could do at home, and something that I was interested in was web design. So I taught myself in between diaper changes and play dates to do web design for clients. So, um, in all of this, I've been doing this for a while now, and I had to look at this and say, what has been the thing that really kept me engaged with doing this for so long? Basically, it's that every new project can have its own unique challenges. So I always try to frame those challenges as a new learning experience. So even if a job gets a little bumpy, a little crazy, it's still a great opportunity to push myself creatively. And the biggest thrill for me is being able to sit down with someone who's got, a big idea for a business and they have no idea where to get started. I help them sort of take all the craziness they have up here in their head and pull it out of them until we end up with a nice, clean, concise, fast loading website. And they're usually very happy with it. And they text me, and that's the best feeling when I get that text that says, I'm so excited to show this to my friends. So I've helped them take all this craziness and pull it together, and now their story is out there for the world. And that's what keeps me going. As far as my business values, they're very in line with my personal values. And in between film jobs, something I did was go to a martial arts school in Boston. And it was a great place, very challenging physically. And usually, at the end of class, you'd be sitting there panting, sweating. And the last thing you had to do was recite these characters on the altar. So, this on the left side of the altar is Hok Young, Hok Yi, Hok Kung Fu. And it means learn kindness, learn fellowship, learn to work hard. And that was the last thing you'd say at the end of class. And also, there's these peacock feathers, and that's a symbol that we're a strong school and we're willing to accept challenges. So, learning to work hard to achieve what I wanted to achieve and being willing to accept challenges are two things I learned. And in fact, I still keep two peacock feathers in my doorway of my house to remind me of that every time I leave the house. So, what is all this challenging and working hard for? I've had a lot of different clients over the years. I was part of a referral network, and that brought in a lot of clients, which was great. Then I had to learn how to put up kind of a filter. so I didn't drive myself too crazy trying to do too many things for too many people. So basically, at this point, I work with creatives, photographers, people that are filmmakers and writers. I've done some books, some websites for writers. That's always fun. Mid to large businesses, established businesses are great. They usually have an old website they want redone, so that's always fun. Entrepreneurs, people that have the big ideas and they need to corral that all into something on a website. And lastly, nonprofit organizations are great. It's a fun way to give back to the community. And I've worked with some really interesting organizations over the years and learned a lot from them. So, the promise that I bring for my clients is that I'm this kind of combination, it's very unique, of technical know how and creative drive. So, what that usually means is yes, I can make it look pretty, make it function smoothly. If anything goes wrong, I know how to open up the code of the website and fix it. And that's really a fun thing for me, which sounds weird, but it's fun because I have a lot of curiosity and I like to know how things work. So that's something that I can really bring to the table for people is not shrinking away from the challenge and finding ways to help get them get their website up and running and make it look good. So competitive advantage, I guess you would say that I've always been on the outside looking in, square peg in a round hole. I tend to see things in unexpected ways from that. So I have always been someone who didn't quite fit in high school, and I have a way of kind of looking at things from the outside. So I've managed to turn this into an advantage because I'm always looking for that leap into the unknown, going from what everyone thinks is a certain way to what it could be. And I like to put myself in the position of, being the only one in the room that is, sometimes it's maybe I'm the only one as a girl, I'm the only one that knows how to do a certain thing. So I like to just deflate preconceived ideas and challenge myself, challenge others. It's really something I like to bring to the table for people. So as far as how I position myself, I basically have many years of life experience as well as coding and creative experience. So I'm actually a kid from the 70s. I was born in 1969, but I still am a kid at heart. I like to have fun, play, that sort of thing. And this is a job that lets me do that. Um, I learned animation at film school, and that's something I've always carried into my projects. I like to keep things moving and playing around with that. Also, I worked as a research librarian, so I like to help people find things that they need to bring the project together. And it also creates a sort of discipline of like creating categories of things, putting things into different hierarchies. And that's a good skill to have when you're looking at, site architecture. I spent a decade working in independent film, and that teaches you to be very collaborative and to manage people. And that's a great skill to have. Um, and that's translated very well into working as a freelance web designer. I had to project manage myself a lot of the time and also negotiate with people. And that's been a great way to sort of bring together all these different things that I've learned over the years into one big bucket of web design. What's my long term ambition? I would love to create something that's sort of a network for people that might want to, do anything from clutter bust in their house and they have a bunch of coats. Okay, like how do I find a coat drive? help a nonprofit connect with another nonprofit, helping people who want to volunteer find the right thing to volunteer for. If there's an urgent need, how do people connect with that? It's basically just seeing all that goes on in the world and not wanting to just throw up my hands and go, oh my gosh, it's just crazy. It's wanting to like jump in and find something that's really going to be a tool for people to come together for, a common thing, common purpose. That's pretty much my wrap up of my brand strategy. Thanks for watching. And if you want to learn more about me, I'm at jennsweb.net on the web. Thank you.